Dear student, my topic is cell signaling, which is included in CBCS syllabus for second semester major students. Aim of this lecture is divided into three parts. First one is cell signaling. It includes introduction, overview of its mechanism, its classification, its mechanism, how do cell recognize signals, brief discussion, classification of receptors, effect of signals upon cell function, response of cells to signals. Next one is GPCR, its introduction, appearance, its role, what second messengers do GPCR signals trigger in cell, and third one is CAMP or cyclic AMP, introduction, its synthesis, its function, and CAMP dependent pathway, its mechanism importance, and last one is conclusion and overall its summary. First, what is cell signaling? In biology, cell signaling is part of any communication process that governs basic activities of cells and coordinates multiple cell actions. The ability of cells to perceive and correctly respond to their microenvironment is the basis of development, tissue repair, and immunity, as well as normal tissue homeostasis. In case of error in signaling, interaction and cellular information processing may cause disease such as cancer, autoimmunity, and diabetes. By understanding cell signaling, clinicians may treat disease more effectively and a brief synopsis of the mechanism of cell signaling. All cells receive and respond to signals from their surroundings. This is accomplished by a variety of signal molecules that are secreted or expressed on the surface of one cell and bind to a receptor expressed by the other cell, thereby integrating and coordinating the function of the many individual cells that make up organism. Each cell is programmed to respond to specific extracellular signal molecules. Extracellular signaling usually entails the following step. First step is synthesis and release of the signaling molecules by the signaling cell. Second one is transport of the signals to the target cell. Third one is by classification of cell signalings. There are three parameters. First one is between cells of the same organism. This includes intracellular and intercellular. Next one is type of signal transmitted. There are two types of signals. One is mechanical and another is biochemical. And third one, between the cells of different organisms. These are intraspecies and interspecies. First one is signaling between cells of the single organism. There are two types. One is intracellular. In this type of cell signaling, the signals specifically called intracellular signals are produced and received by the same cell. Intercellular signaling. In this type of cell signaling, the signals specifically called intracellular signals are produced and received by the different cells. Types of signal transmitted. Based upon the type of signals, cell signaling is divided into two types. One is mechanical and another is biochemical. Mechanical signals are the forces exerted on the cell and the forces produced by the cell. These forces can be both be sensed and respond by the cell. And next one is biochemical signals. Biochemical signals are biochemical molecules such as proteins, lipids, ions, and gases. Biochemical signals are further differentiated into these types. First one is intercrine signal. These signals are produced by the target cell that stay within the target cell. Next one is autocrine. These signals are produced by the target cell, are secreted and affect the target cell itself via the receptors. Sometimes autocrine cell can target cells close by if they are the same type of cells as the emitting cell. An example of these are immune cells. Third one is juxtacrine signals. These signals target adjacent or touching cells. These signals are transmitted along cell membrane via protein or lipid components integral to the membrane and are capable of between the cells of different organisms. These are two types. One is interspecies signals. This type of cell signaling occurs between the cells of two or more organisms of the same species. Interspecies signaling occurs especially in bacteria, yeast, social insect, but also many vertebrates. Interspecies signaling. This type of cell signaling occurs between two or more organisms of different species. In some case of interspecies signaling, the emitting organism can actually be a host of the receiving organism or vice versa. Mechanism of cell signaling. Let us discuss about how do cells recognize a signal. Cells have proteins called receptors that bind to signaling molecules and initiate a physiological response. Different receptors are specific for different molecules. Example, dopamine receptors bind dopamine, insulin receptors bind insulin, nerve growth factor receptors bind nerve growth factor. In fact, there are hundreds of receptors types found in cells, and varying cell types have different populations of receptors. Receptors can also respond directly to light or pressure, which makes cells sensitive to events in the atmosphere. Now let us talk about a brief discussion about receptors. What is receptors? Receptors are generally transmembrane protein which bind to signaling molecules outside the cell and subsequently transmit the signal through a sequence of molecular switch to internal signaling pathways. Classification of receptors. Membrane receptors are divided into three main classes. First one is G-protein coupled receptors. Second one is ion channel receptors, and third one is enzyme link receptors. The name of these receptors classes refer to the mechanism by which the receptors transform external signals into the internal ones. These are via protein action, mm, ion channel opening, or enzyme activation respectively. Because membrane receptors interact with both intracellular signals and molecules within the cell, they permit signaling molecules to affect cell function without actually entering the cell. This is important because most signaling molecules G-protein couple receptors. GPCR, also called 7 transmembrane receptor or heptahelical receptors, because it has 7 protein subunits, protein located on the cell membrane that binds extracellular substances and transmits signals from these substances to an intracellular molecule called G protein, guanine nucleotide binding protein. GPCR found in the cell membrane. An example of ion channel activation. In this figure, an acetylcholine receptor, green, form a gated ion channel to the plasma membrane. This receptor is a membrane protein with an aqueous pore, meaning it allows flowable materials to travel across the plasma membrane when open. When no external signal is present, the pore is closed. When acetylcholine molecules bind to the receptors, this triggers a conformational change that opens the aqueous pore and allow ions in form of red color shows the red color of ions to flow into the cell. The activation of adenyl cyclase can result in the manufacture of hundreds or even thousands of cyclic AMP molecules. These cyclic AMP molecules activate the enzyme protein kinase A or pKa, which then phosphorylates multiple protein substrates by attaching phosphate group to them. Each step in the cascade further amplifies the initial signals, and the phosphorylation reaction mediate both short and long-term response in the cell, which will be shown in the figure 2. How does cyclic AMP stop signaling? It is degraded by the enzyme phosphodiesterase. These are an example of signal transduction pathway involving cyclic AMP. The binding of the adrenaline to an adrenergic receptor initiate a cascade of reaction inside the cell. The signal transduction cascade is a chemical process that comprises at least two consecutive reactions. Is signal transduction cascade begins when adenyl cyclase, a membrane-bound enzyme, is activated by G protein molecules associated with the adrenergic receptor. Adenyl cyclase creates multiple effects of signals upon cell function. Protein kinase such as pKa and pKc catalyze the transfer of phosphate groups from ATP molecules to protein molecules. Within proteins, the amino acid serine, threonine, and tyrosine are especially common site for phosphorylation. This phosphorylation reaction control the activity of many enzymes involving intracellular signaling pathways. Specifically, the addition of phosphate groups cause a conformational change in the enzymes, which can either activate or inhibit the enzyme activity. Then, when appropriate, protein phosphatase remove the phosphate groups from the enzymes, thereby reversing the effect of. Now let us discuss about response of cells to signals. How can a cell respond to its signals? Once a receptor protein receives a signal, it undergoes a conformational change, which in turn launches a series of biochemical reactions within the cell. These intracellular signaling pathways, also called signal transduction cascade, typically amplify the message, producing multiple intracellular signals for every one receptor that is bound. Activation of receptors can trigger the synthesis of small molecules called second messengers, which initiate and coordinate intracellular signaling pathways. For example, cyclic AMP or CAMP is a common second messenger involved in signal transduction cascade. Right. Phosphorylation allows for intricate control of protein function. Phosphate groups can be added to multiple sites in a single protein, and a single protein may in turn be the substrate for multiple kinase and phosphatase. At any one time, a cell is receiving and responding to numerous signals, and multiple signals transduction pathways are operating in its cytoplasm. Many points of interaction exist among these pathways. For instance, a single second messenger or protein kinase might play a role in more than one pathway. To this network of signaling pathways, the shell is constantly integrating all the information it receives from its external environment. Conclusion: cells typically receive signals in chemical form via various signaling molecules. When a signaling molecule joins with an appropriate receptors on a cell surface, this binds triggers a chain of events that not only carries the signal to the cell interior but amplifies it as well. Cells can also send signaling molecules to other cells. Some of these chemical signals, including neurotransmitters, travel only a short distance, but others must go further to reach their targets. GP shear. Now we discuss about the GPCR or G protein couple receptors. GPCR are the largest and most diverse group of membrane receptors in eukaryotes. These cell surface receptors act like an inbox of messages in the form of light energy, peptides, lipids, sugars, and proteins. Such messages inform cells about the presence or absence of life-sustaining light or nutrients in their environment, or they convey information sent by other cells. G protein couple receptors play a role in an incredible array of functions in the human body. An increased understanding of these receptors has greatly affected modern medicine. In fact, let us talk about appearance of GPCR. GPCRs bind to a tremendous variety of signaling molecules, yet they share a common architecture that has been conserved over the course of evolution. Many, many present-day eukaryotes, including animals, plants, fungi, and protozoa, rely on these receptors to receive information from their environment. For example, simple eukaryotes such as yeast have GPCRs that sense glucose and mating factors. Next one, the GPCRs consist of a single polypeptide that is folded into a globular shape and embedded in a cell's plasma membrane. Seven segments of this molecule here. Now we discuss about the role of GPCR. As their name implies, GPCR interact with G proteins in the plasma membrane. When an external signaling molecule binds to a GPCR, It causes a conformational change in the GPCR. This change then triggers the interaction between GPCR and the nearby G protein. Next one is this G proteins are specialist protein with the ability to bind the nucleotides guanosine triphosphate or GTP and guanosine diphosphate or GDP. Some G proteins, such as signaling protein, RAS, are small proteins with a single subunit. These are the GPCR, and three parts are alpha, beta, and gamma parts. In unstimulated cell, the state of G alpha, this indicates the orange color, is defined by its interaction with GDP, G beta, gamma, and G protein couple receptors. Upon receptor stimulation by ligand called an agonist, the state of the receptor changes. G alpha dissociate from the receptors and G beta gamma and GTP is exchanged for the bound of GDP, which leads to G alpha activation. G alpha then goes on to activate. This figure shown the relationship between the G proteins to the plasma membrane. In this diagram, we show the G protein couple receptors activation. The alpha, beta, and gamma subunits are shown within the distinct relationship to the plasma membrane. After exchange of GDP with GTP on the alpha subunit, both the alpha subunit and the beta gamma complex may interact with other molecule to promote to successfully pass the signal. Note that both the alpha subunit and the beta gamma complex remain restrict the moment to the plasma membrane while they are activated. This activated subunit can act on ion channels in the cell membrane as well as cellular enzymes and second messenger molecules that travel around the cell. Now let us discuss about what second messengers do GPCR signals triggers in the cell. Activation of a single G protein can affect the production of hundreds or even thousands of second messengers molecules. Recall that second messengers such as cyclic AMP, CMP, diacylglycerol, which is known as DAG, and inositol 1,4,5-triphosphate or IPT are small molecules that initiate and coordinate intracellular signaling pathways. One especially common target of activated G proteins in adenylyl cyclase, a membrane-associated enzyme that, when activated by the GT, these are the signaling cascade within a cell can interact to affect multiple molecules of the cell, leading to secretion of substances from the cell, ion channel opening, and transcription arise. Now we conclude the GPCR. GPCRs are a large family of cell surface receptors that respond to a variety of external signals. Binding of a signaling molecule to a GPCR result in G protein activation, which in turn triggers the production of any number of second messengers. Though these second messengers of events, GPCRs help regulate an incredible range of bodily function from sensation to growth to hormone response. Now we discuss about the CAMP or a special look at adenyl cyclase pathway. What is cyclic AMP? Cyclic adenosine monophosphate is known as CAMP or cyclic AMP or 3 days 5 days cyclic adenosine monophosphate is a second messenger important in many biological processes. Cyclic AMP is a derivative of adenosine triphosphate ATP and used for intracellular signal transduction in many different organisms, conveying the cyclic AMP dependent pathway. It should not be confused with 5' AMP activated protein kinase. Now we discuss about its function. Cyclic AMP is a second messenger used for intracellular signal transduction, such as transferring into cells and effects of hormones like glucagon and adrenaline, which cannot pass through the plasma membrane. It is also involved in the activation of protein kinase. In addition, cyclic AMP binds to and regulates the function of ion channels such as HCN channels and a few other cyclic nucleotide binding proteins such as EPAC1 and RAPGEF2. Now we discuss about the cyclic AMP dependent pathway. Mechanism. First, we know the G protein coupled receptors are a large family of integral membrane proteins that respond to a variety of extracellular stimuli. Each GPCR binds to and is activated by specific ligand stimulus that ranges in the size from small molecule catecholamine, lipid, or neurotransmitters to large protein hormones. When a GPCR is activated by its extracellular ligand, a conformational change is induced in the receptor that is transmitted to an attached intracellular heteromeric G protein complex. This GS alpha subunit of the stimulated G protein complex exchanges GDP for GTP and is released from the complex. In a cyclic AMP dependent pathway, the activated GS alpha subunit binds to and activates an enzyme called adenyl cyclase, which in turn catalyzes the conversion of ATP into cyclic adenosine monophosphate or CAMP. Increase the in concentration of the second messenger, cyclic AMP may lead to the activation of first cyclic nucleotide gated ion channels. Second, next exchange proteins activated by cyclic AMP such as RAPGEF3. Third one is Popeye domain containing proteins, and fourth one is an enzyme called protein kinase A or PKA. The protein kinase A enzyme is also known as cyclic AMP dependent enzyme because it gets activated only if cyclic AMP is present. One PKA is activated, it phosphorylates a number of other proteins including enzymes that convert glycogen into glucose. Next, enzyme that promote muscles contraction in heart leading to an increase in heart rate. Third one is transcription factors which regulate gene expression. Fourth one also phosphorylate AMPA receptors. And last one is specificity of signalings between a GPCR and its ultimate molecular target through a cyclic AMP dependent pathway may be achieved through formation of a multiprotein complex that include its importance. In humans, cyclic AMP works by activating protein kinase A, these are PKA and cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase. One of the first few kinases discovered. It has four subunits, two catalytic and two regulatory subunits. Cyclic AMP binds to the regulatory subunit. It causes them to break apart from the catalytic subunits. The catalytic subunits make their way in the nucleus to influence transcription. Further effects mainly depend on cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase, which vary based on the type of cell. Cyclic AMP dependent pathway is necessary for many living organisms and its life processes. First, many different cell responses are mediated by cyclic AMP. This includes increase in heart rate, cortisol secretion, and the breakdown of glycogen and fat. Cyclic AMP is essential for the maintenance of memory in the brain, relaxation in the heart, and the water absorbed in the kidney. This pathway can activate enzymes and regulate gene expression. The activation of pre-existing enzyme is a much faster process, whereas regulation of gene expression is much longer, then can take up to hours. The cyclic AMP pathway is studied through loss of function, inhibition, and gain of function. Now, you conclude this topic. Cell signaling is a part of complex system of communication that governs the cellular activity and coordination, and it's important in many ways. Next, cell interacts with each other to control metabolic process within them. It also important part in immune system of a body. The growth and differentiation of cell number is regulated. The synthesis and secretion of intracellular protein is command. Multiple enzyme synthesis is done by signaling. Thank you.